There's a battle for India's waistline, and America's Eli Lilly just took the lead. The US pharma giant has officially launched Mounjaro. It's a popular weight loss drug primarily used for type 2 diabetes, and now it's here in India. So how does it work? What does it cost? And why is it in India? First things first, Mounjaro is a diabetes drug, like I said. It is an injectable medicine developed by Eli Lilly. In 2022, it was approved in the United States, and this approval was for type 2 diabetes. But it's also used for weight loss. And here's how it works. Mounjaro mimics two key gut hormones, GIP and GLP-1. These are hormones. This injection acts like them. It increases insulin production, it slows down digestion, it suppresses appetite, and it makes you feel fuller. So you eat less and you shed kilos, or you shed them faster. That's how it helps in weight loss. Now let's look at the cost. The injection is available in several dosages from 2 milligrams to 15 milligrams, and you need to administer it once a week. In India, a single dose of 2.5 mg will cost around 3,500 rupees. 5 mg will be for 4,300 rupees. So the total cost per month could be anywhere between 14,000 to 17,000 Indian rupees, which is high for most people, but much lower than other such injections. And this brings us to the question, why did they launch in India? The simple answer is the sheer size, the size of the Indian market. 80 million people are obese in this country, 80 million. Another 225 million people are overweight. India is third in global obesity rankings, right behind the US and China. By 2034, 11% of our population will be obese. This makes India a major market for weight loss drugs, and the demand is rising. In 2022, India's weight loss market was worth $180 million. In the next 3 years, it could be worth $336 million. That is the projection. So Mounjaro's entry is just the start. Others will follow, both homegrown options and foreign ones. Despite this, reshaping India's weight loss market will take more. There are some key points to consider. The first is greater accessibility. You see, drugs like Ozempic are expensive. Not everyone can afford them. Indian pharma giants are working on some alternatives, some generic versions, which should be cheaper. There's also another silver lining. Drugs like Ozempic contain an active ingredient called semaglutide. It's the semaglutide that causes the weight loss. Danish company Novo Nordisk has the patent for semaglutide. No one else can make a similar drug, not legally. But that patent expires in India in 2026. So next year, Indian drug makers can make generic versions of this, and they should be cheaper. The second point to note is the shift in treatment norms. India has long relied on diet and lifestyle modifications, but these drugs provide an alternative. They also come with risks. Once a person starts taking such a drug, there's the question of long-term dependency. How does this change our relationship with food and exercise? All of this will have to be discussed and navigated. The third point is regulatory challenges. Using Mounjaro will need a doctor's approval, so you will need a prescription. But how do you control unauthorized sales? How do you prevent counterfeits? India will have to look into that. And then there's also the social impact. The rise of weight loss drugs could change beauty standards. Could people feel pressured to take these drugs even if they don't need them? Could it redefine success in fitness from hard work to just an injection? These are all questions that India must look at addressing. And then comes the biggest one of all. What if demand outstrips supply? Who gets priority in such a situation? Is it those who need it medically, the diabetic patients, or those who want it for cosmetic weight loss? So as India opens its doors to this new generation of weight loss drugs, it must also open its eyes to the challenges that come with it. Because the battle for India's waistline is not just about losing weight, it's about who controls the future of weight loss itself. Good afternoon, Prime Minister Lakshman.
Good afternoon.
Making headlines in India well before you landed here.
New Delhi has raised concerns in the recent past vis-a-vis the Khalistani separatists that operate in New Zealand. How do you propose to address these concerns?
In our democracy, we believe in the freedom of speech.
Organizations like the Al-Qaeda or ISIS were to hold a referendum in New Zealand, something related to one of your Western partners. Would you say the same?
We have very well-defined laws in our democracy.
No specific conversation on Khalistan on this visit.
It was raised with me. I also raised back our position.
Are you willing to be open to these concerns from New Delhi?
As I keep coming back to you to say, we have strong laws in our system.
Do you think that Ukraine is at its weakest position?
This war is not about Ukraine.
Do you believe that your president was insulted? Yes or no question. Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.
Diplomacy will work?
Yes,
Do you
it
think
will.
Russia will give up the territory if there is no ceasefire? Do you propose to keep fighting?
We are ready to resist.
Do you think there will be peace?
Many countries gave us 3 days.
President Trump said you don't have any cards.
We do not have another choice.
How do you keep fighting?
You ask me once again the same question.
Because you've not answered my question.
We have enough capacities to keep fighting.